And we are live. Welcome, everyone. Another episode of the CHRILLCAST Live. I'm Will.
And I'm Andrew.
All right, Andrew. I see that Chris made our thumbnail again this week, and I see that he has it labeled as the future of crypto gaming. So did you want to, maybe start off with just going over briefly, what is crypto gaming? What are NFTs again? And catch some people up.
Right. So with crypto gaming, it's basically they're trying to integrate blockchain into the games, be it through custom in-game currency or a NFT concept. The main catchphrase these days is play to earn.
Okay.
Basically, it is a fundamental ground-up realization that gamers create value within games because they're putting time into games, and the whole goal is to allow them to actually profit from that time through either experience gained. You could sell your character. It's trying to give them more ownership over that time. If they go get rare items, that type of stuff. But there isn't any major game yet that really has it fine-tuned. There's a couple fun indie games. They're more along the lines of card games or Pokemon Duel knockoffs. Or if you want to go, there's Crypto Kitties, which I don't even know if that technically counts as a game. It's more of a weird concept, if I'm being completely honest. The main target right now, though, from what kind of brought this whole stream up is there's been a big push to try to get MMOs to adopt it. And one of the companies recently that was having meetings, well, besides Ubisoft, because Ubisoft has a bunch of incubators for crypto games. So if you hate crypto games, definitely hate Ubisoft, because they're the ones who are trying to fund a bunch of startups that are trying to do it.
So that's where they're putting their money, not into improving their games, but
yeah, that's probably why they're up for sale potentially. So,
yes.
But yeah, one of the big games that recently was having representatives meet with people who were trying to convince them of doing a crypto NFT interface was CCP Games over there with EVE Online. That's the spaceships in space, or more affectionately called spreadsheets in space. So, latest news though is that they're not going to do it because they don't think it's ready, just because of the. One second, I have to go yell at my corgi in the background.
All right, yeah. So it's just me right now. So I'm really not super sold on the crypto gaming or the NFTs. I know Andrew will do a better job explaining and also explain sort of the benefit behind it. But from my perspective, I don't know how, as a consumer, it really makes that much sense. It makes a ton of sense for people selling stuff. It makes a ton of sense for the developers themselves. But I don't know. I just feel like in the effort of giving more control to the players, we're going to lose control, and right now I'm getting even shittier games.
Right.
Did you hear any of my rant?
Oh, I heard all of it. All of it. No, I personally don't think it's ready because it's not streamlined with integration, right? There's all this extra stuff that the player has to do outside of it, like have a cryptocurrency wallet, all of those things, and then the risk of losing your assets. I mean, if you don't handle a seamless integration properly. But with CCP Games, EVE Online is huge. Been around for almost ever now, and at least it feels like forever. And their games have always, I don't know, it's weird because they're the perfect game to integrate it, almost, because of how much of the perception around the gameplay is real value is in that game.
Okay.
For example, every single one of their major space battles and stuff, they're always going to like this metric of, oh, this battle or this in the game they're called corporations, instead of clans and stuff, because that's just the theme. But like if they ever have like in-game theft from another group, they always have it where it's always reported in real-world money.
All right, so I guess when you come back, Andrew, I'm going to ask you about how does like CS:GO fit into this? I know people like exchange or sell the skins. I'm just curious how, like, is that considered a sort of NFT, and also how does that factor in this whole discussion? But in the meantime, how's everybody doing today? Just got back from a fishing trip. I'm pretty excited. A little bit burned though.
Okay, so what were you asking?
All right, so I was going to ask, how does CS:GO fit into this? Because I know you can buy the skins and sell the skins.
Right. So
like that kind of situation, how is that different, or how is that worse or better than what they're trying to integrate in games now?
I would say it's better because you actually would own it in a different sense, right? You would know exactly how many of those skins exist. They would be able to do a unique skin that only one person owns. They could even open it up where players could create their own skins, right? And then if they create their own skin, it's unique purely to them.
Okay.
And it's only that one, right? And then you could basically, I guess I would phrase it this way. If you wanted to, as a developer, you could really leverage the creativity of your community with taking modding and trying to make it more official to the game.
Okay.
But then making it where you get like a cut, right?
I mean, you can have like a custom, you know, how Halo, or at least old Halo games, had a custom game browser, and
right.
You can see like all of the custom games or different maps people have made in Forge. You have something like that where you have like a custom skin browser where you can go through and like say there's like a free section for most people, but there's also ones you can go buy or something, and then you just get, you know, because you're buying within the ecosystem of the game, the developer's still getting like, you know, 0.5% cut or something.
Right, and it's also that whole concept, right, that if you actually wanted something unique, you really would need to do an NFT structure so that you can actually feel like it is unique. Because otherwise, when it's just those skins, normally the developer will just, you know, sell that to everybody. Anyone who wants it can just get it. So it's like there is nothing really unique there. Whereas,
I guess like for me, just like outside looking in, like without actually looking at an actual example, I still don't see the value in just like being the only one who owns like a blue skin or something. It's like in the next Fable game, only being the only one who has blue.
So I agree with you, but that's also our age, okay. Right? Where the problem is Gen Z is extremely like starting to almost view themselves as having a more online identity in general.
Mm-hmm.
They don't mind just shelling out money. Look at Fortnite. Look at all those games that have been like super popular with Gen Z. All of those games, they all want to be their unique character, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're the market that will actually shell out money for something that makes them unique and feel special. It's weird to me, weird to you. Pretty sure Chris finds it weird as well.
Yeah.
As far as like the skins and stuff go in game, you really give a crap if you can still play the game. But this is a generation that all they ever want is to be an online personality, a YouTuber, an influencer, whatever. Like everything, even how they view themselves, is through an online first persona. So when it comes to their gaming, they want that uniqueness.
Yeah, I mean, I get wanting to, you know, potentially pay or earn a skin that is like a cool looking skin, like the flame helmet in Halo or whatever. There's tons of examples. I keep using Halo, but I don't care if everyone else has that. It's just like, that looks cool to me, so I don't care if everyone else has it too.
Right. But that's where like Gen Z has been traditionally different so far, is they like to flex in game.
Yeah.
Right? We don't give
Yeah.
a crap. Like millennials, the flex is the gameplay, right? Just being better. Going around, think of our Call of Duty upbringing. It was, I just killed you, teabag time.
Yes.
Right? Okay, now this one's like, look at how Call of Duty's changed now. It's like, now look at my gamer tag. Look at my cool new gun markup, right?
Or my new emote.
Yeah. It's all of these. It's like they made the dog tags, the gamer tag. They made the different skins for the camos for the guns. They made it now where you can put your little like symbol emblem on the gun in Call of Duty. It's all about this whole new persona of how do you like flex on the other people you're playing against, and it's about it's like it's now more about identity than just being like, my gamer tag is now teabagging you for the umpteenth time in this game. Feel bad about yourself. Like that. It's a completely different environment of gaming. And I think that's where NFTs come in. I mean, that you can see it now a little bit.
So I can blame those bastards for ruining games.
Yeah, you blame Gen Z because they also think you own things that are digital. So
at the end of the day, again, like, I guess maybe I am just really old now. I just, what are you owning? I don't understand.
It's like, that's the thing right now that I find hilarious about NFTs, is that they do believe they actually own the image, but you don't own the image. You own like, for example, if it's in a game and it's a skin, let's say it's a skin or a special gun, you own the key to actually use it in the game. So if it comes with a game, it makes sense. But if it's an NFT that's just digital art that comes with no perks associated with the NFT key code, right? Basically the blockchain code that you have, then you literally just paid money to say you own an image that you can have a right-click army of.
Yes. Yeah, you can you've bought the ability to open the JPEG really easily, whereas anyone else can still look at that image and just screenshot it,
Yeah, right, exactly. And it's like, you have it on this one formatting that is NFT. You don't really own the image. Well, according to Twitter, they'll claim you do because you can make yourself look like you have the little, what is it, a hexagon or whatever.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes.
So basically, you get to have the special shaped Twitter profile picture if you have an NFT that's just an image. So if it doesn't come with functionality in a game or some other structure that someone's creative about, like a social club or something, then it doesn't really make sense, right? But I could see fun things with, let's say you have the gamer, let's say it is the skin, right, for your player in whatever, let's say it was Smash Bros. And let's say Nintendo sold a bunch of different versions of Link, custom Link skins, and people could go buy it, and whenever they played on Smash Bros, their skin was what was on the screen as that character. Then during tournaments, like, let's just say right there, everyone instantly knows which gamer that is if it's like esports. And then you could even make that whole right-click thing a joke on Twitter. You could just be like, "Where's my right-click army at?" for supporters. It's just, you have all of these things. It's like, the image doesn't matter. It's what you can. It's like, what are you actually able to do with the image?
Okay.
But also with things like EVE Online, it's like, I don't really think NFTs are the thing that are going to be good for it. I think it's more about integrating their online currency, in-game currency, with a real like cryptocurrency. I think that actually brings value. It's not like, I really just see it as them being more ready to open up the fact that you can profit from your in-game activity and not have it behind this closed door where it's like, oh no, you sold your character for profit, or you went and did a bunch of in-game activities for somebody else and now they're paying you money. We're going to now ban your character because you're profiting off of in-game activity and we don't approve. It's like, I really just view it as maybe the gaming industry is starting to just accept the fact that anything that's so big that and expansive like an MMO really does create value to people. Mm-hmm. And as a result of that, there is real monetary value for activities that players do in the game.
Yeah, and I think it's crazy people who pay for profiles of like, World of Warcraft or something, and they want to like start at like level 70, so they'll buy it. Like, it defeats the purpose of having the game.
Is that shamed though? That's my question. Like, is that embraced for World of Warcraft? Because I've never really been into it. I know EVE Online is kind of.
I've always viewed it as like a shameful thing, but I don't think in general it really is. I think it's just like whatever. Okay,
because I know EVE Online has punished people.
Okay.
Like you were able to do like in-game currency for things. You could sell it for in-game currency. But the second you started selling things from in-game for real money,
mm-hmm.
it starts to get like only CP Games is allowed to sell in-game for money. So
interesting. Okay.
Yeah, there's like a whole market for how you can buy in, and I get it's kind of weird, but
so. And I know we've had this discussion before, but if you're able to buy an NFT from like an individual, and say it's a weapon of some sort, how do you keep that from just not being super exploited, and you just get a weapon that's like God mode tier all the time, and you can just make your own and import into the game. It doesn't have to look like anything. It could be like one polygon square.
I mean, it would come down to how the developer wants the NFTs to work with the game, right?
Okay.
It would have it fully within their right to make it where all it is a skin. It really does come down to the flexibility of what the developer wants the game to be and how the community is empowered to make certain decisions.
Okay.
But like, you could totally see it for like any of those just melee games, or just the I'm blanking on the name of it right now. I hate it so much. The island, like PUBG and all of that.
Okay, PUBG.
Like, yeah, it would be like all of those games. You could totally see skins be put in there, and it'd just be like, yeah, just make it your unique character, pay us a certain amount, and then not just that, it's like someone's gonna want to pay for something if it's made famous, right?
Yeah.
Just like why do you go pay a bunch of money for a jersey that someone wore during an important game, right?
That seems cooler to me. I don't know, but there's gonna be like the Yeezy equivalent of skins now, and people are gonna spend thousands of dollars. I realize it's their money, but I just
blame Gen Z.
Yeah.
Because they're totally gonna want it. And okay, let's look at Ninja, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's look at how Ninja wins. Like, if you're doing a tournament or something, you're an individual who's famous for playing video games. You have your character wear a specific skin during that tournament.
Mm-hmm.
You're telling me that there's not Gen Z children out there willing to go steal their parents' credit card to try to buy that after the tournament?
Oh, definitely. That's definitely.
Because right, so it's gonna be the same thing as like a jersey.
Well, I mean, the jersey though, I feel like if you can get that cataloged, it was like this actually was worn by like LeBron.
That's what the NFT will be, though.
But how do you resell that in like 30 years, man? There's no way that's gonna be worth shit. There's no way.
Did you really expect esports to be as big as they are getting, though?
Not as big, no.
Right.
That one makes a little bit more sense though, because at the same time, it's like I can't play football, but I love watching football. It's like I always make fun of it.
Play.
Well, I can
video
play
game.
football, just not very well. It's like I can play Call of Duty, but I suck at Call of Duty.
Right. But that doesn't mean, like, it's a little different, right? The main fun thing with Call of Duty is playing more than
That's
watching.
true. Yeah, it is a different medium because.
Okay, let's put it this way. Think of, as a millennial, think of every time, what was the worst thing about playing video games when you had it over 4 friends playing video
Being
games?
the worst one.
Being the worst one because why? You got to play the least amount because it was round robin and someone was eliminated. Okay, if you're the worst one, you didn't get to play. You had to watch.
Yes.
And
That's
no
true.
one liked doing that.
Mm-hmm. That's
like,
fair.
Isn't it kind of crazy that watching people play Call of Duty?
I can't freaking stand it.
The thing that no one wanted to do as a kid when we were growing up, the one thing no one wanted, they were just like, is it almost over? Is the round almost over? Who am I switching controllers?
Yeah, well, kids will watch hours of not just unboxing videos, but like opening up candied eggs and shit. It's like, what the hell are you doing?
Dude, I'm telling you, Gen Z, totally different.
Yeah,
There's no logic to this. They're just, they weirdly view it as like they live through the screen.
All right, so this is a good Gen Z story. So, did you go to prom, and did you dance, or did anyone else dance at prom?
Yes.
All right, so I had to help my wife chaperone prom 2 weekends ago, and I was expecting, like, oh, I'm gonna have to be breaking up kids. They're gonna, leave space for Jesus, that whole nonsense.
You had to go confiscate phones the whole night, I bet.
No, we didn't do shit. Basically, I stood there. All they did was just stand in the middle, and they took videos of each other. That's all they did. They didn't dance. There was no grinding. There was nothing. They would occasionally like get all excited because someone's phone was up. They'd be like, "Yeah," and then they would stop and go back and look at their phones. It was the damnedest thing. I was so confused.
Sounds awful.
Oh, so boring.
So Gen Z is the most boring group ever.
And it was crazy. They didn't even play like any modern music. It was all 90s and early 2000s music. So like Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, Lil Jon, like that music, the stuff that we grew up on.
Actually, yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I've been to places that I have told, yeah, no, that happens.
It was like when I know the lyrics to every single song that's coming on, you're playing really old music. It's like what are you listening to?
I mean, a lot of the new music isn't that good for a prom night anyway.
Well, it's terrible. And I was talking to my wife about it. I was like, it's all like the music today is meant for like 30 seconds in a TikTok video. It's not meant to be listened to or danced to at all.
Well, because most of it is literally that 30-second clip on replay, because they don't have verse 1, verse 2, verse 3 of a song. It's verse 1, then verse 1 repeated.
Yes.
Then verse 1 repeated.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And there's no progression within the songs. It's like you'll have that. Well, wait, no. I guess it's better to describe it as you'll have that intro, which says absolutely nothing for the first third. Then you have that one verse that's like trying to get clipped. Then you have the outro.
Yep.
And
yes.
But
so they're ruining music and they're ruining video games.
Yes.
Freaking Gen Z, man.
I mean, they just live through their screens. I'm telling you.
Yeah, we are growing up to be our parents. I'm sure they're thinking the same thing about our generation. It's like they're ruining everything. But I really think they are ruining it now.
I don't know what we really ruined.
Yeah.
I mean, the biggest complaint would have been the shift from rock music to hip hop and pop. But at least there was still creativity.
Yes, it wasn't all made by a machine. Actually, so I was listening to this video about how almost all pop music now is actually written by 3 or 4 of the same people. And that's why everything sounds exactly the same.
Well, did you know that I was reading an article about it. K-pop is done to be like, it's just super industrialized how they do it. And they just mass produce the different beats to try to like be as generic as possible to try to appeal to the most amount of people. It's not about an identity at all for the music. It's literally trying to be as commercial as it can possibly be, and that's what's popular.
Mm-hmm.
That's the new thing that's popular. So
Yep.
I don't get it. But
yeah, me either. What genre do you think they're going to try to put these NFT or cryptocurrency into that's going to absolutely be terrible? So it's just like how they try to put loot boxes and loot crates into single player games. Totally failed. And actually like kind of tipped it where they took loot boxes out of a lot of games. What genre do you think they're going to try and it's going to be completely awful?
I guess it all depends on how they do it, right? Because it is very much of what you make it.
Mm-hmm.
Having crypto in games is very fluid. I think the dumbest ones have already been made.
Okay.
Literally, I think CryptoKitties was the dumbest shit on the planet.
Okay.
There was another one where it's like a horse racing breeding thing, similar to CryptoKitties, and it's just like, it's stupid because it's trying to make a game that's like breeding animals, and like the value proposition, it's like, I don't know, it's super obscure about the value proposition, and it's all about hype to the game at the time, and then you have to have the creatures to breed them, and then the characteristics. It's like, what is the method to the madness here? It's just printing new cats and hoping they look a certain way for no apparent reason whatsoever, because it's not like it's a real cat. And I think, like, honestly, I think that might have been the worst thing ever created, and it already exists now. So it's like, I feel like anything from this point forward can't possibly be as stupid.
I'm sure they'll find a way.
It's not going to be, if it's game first, though, like they develop a game first and then they try to add value to the players, I don't think it can be as stupid as CryptoKitties. Like that's my hot take on it.
CryptoKitties really hurt you, didn't it?
No, it hurt my mind. I couldn't understand it. And then there's like the horse racing one that's weird too. It's basically just breeding thoroughbreds in a way that doesn't make any sense anyway, because it's like, how the hell does this work? And then it's just it's a whole fancy shell on top of it being a horse gambling game. So it's like, it's really for the gambling addicts out there who can no longer go to a racetrack.
Oh my gosh.
No, that's seriously what it is. It's actually it's actually a gambling scheme, but
okay.
Which I guess can be kind of cool, but
this is only sort of related. But them changing the games for like the current market. Remember how Angry Birds used to be fun and like not super cumbersome to play, but now have you played Angry Birds 2?
I have not played Angry Birds in a long while. Actually,
don't even do it. It's not the same game. So like you have to like hatch eggs, like Pokemon Go sort of. You have to like purchase the birds now, and you have like a little like map, like almost like Mario Overworld style.
Okay.
And it is when you get a certain distance, you have to like go through ads, and that's when like your things will hatch, and and you can actually you can speed that process up. Oh, it's terrible.
So basically, they tried to monetize it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Outside of like little banner ads. And that reminds me of Flappy Bird. In the sense that you know why that thing was so good? Because it was addictive, simple, and no one gave a shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Didn't the creator like actually like take it down?
He hated his life.
Yeah.
He hated his life because it was too popular, and people were like bitching at him about how much time they sunk into it and how they couldn't get self-worth. Yeah, he was getting endless comments or something. Kind of weird, funny. But it's like, oh, I can't handle the fame. I'll go cry into super statin sheets some more.
Yeah.
Rich bastard.
Exactly.
But I mean, then everything became copycats of it for like a year.
Yes, everyone was Flappy Birds for a second. Yes.
Yes. But no, I mean, okay, NFT card games. That would be it. That's probably a decent value proposition.
Yeah, if you're playing like Hearthstone or something like that, I can see like buying a unique card from someone that you could play, then like actually put in your deck. I think that would be kind of cool.
But even if they just made the cards themselves NFTs to allow you to like in-person trade, or like if they tried to use NFTs to make it more interactive in person.
Okay.
I don't know. It would be like, even if you wanted to like play, if they wanted to make it where you weren't always playing in the app or something.
Okay. And if you like had a really like if you played a long time, you had some unique cards, you can end up selling them, just like Magic cards now, where you could sell your Magic cards.
Yeah, because the weirdest thing to me, right, is how Magic how Magic cards, they have the online Magic cards and then they have the physical Magic cards, and I don't think they still haven't done anything that it's like they're redeemable, right? It's you have to be in. You either have to pick one or the other ecosystem to focus all your attention, or you just spend double the money to get everything. It's like that's the weird part to me, that Magic still does that.
What about if you like bought a digital game and you could you trade that in for a physical one? So like I'd be all about that.
I mean, they could. I mean, theoretically, they could do that where it's value. You just you could sell the digital game for that. It's not like it's just a copy. You're selling away your digital key to the game. There's all sorts of ways to utilize NFTs and the blockchain in general. So right now, one of the things for NFTs that I know people look at is like, tickets, concert tickets and stuff. So they would allow you to make more of a commemorative aspect to it, right?
Yeah, I can kind of see that happening. I know we brought this up before, but the idea that I could actually sell my digital games, that'd be a nice feature. I'd be okay with that one instead of just holding on to them forever, or even if I could just give them to somebody.
Yeah, even like expansions, right? Like it's kind of weird that if you got the expansion, you can't just trade that to somebody. There's no way to like sell your game forward with the DLC.
That's true.
Right? All that DLC is locked to your account currently.
Yep.
So you spent that money and you can't redeem anything for it. Even if you were given the DLC code, once it's used, it's done. So you can't even sell the code with your game. So it's like, if you had an NFT structure for your game, you could probably make it where you could sell a digital game and the digital DLC, everything that you purchased for it, to somebody else. And then it wouldn't be just a money pit to you. You'd actually get your value back.
Yeah. I think that's a good deal. That's the one good thing that we've talked about so far.
That's the one. That's the one that's about adding actual value to real world things.
Exactly. All right. Well, did you have any final thoughts on that?
No.
This whole discussion.
As of right now, just going back to like the future of that, I think it's more an indicate. Like right now, the way like CCP Games is going, for example, and how they're having talks with the NFT companies and everything that are working on that. It's kind of like, it just shows a more openness, I guess a more willingness to have freedom to the players owning more within the game and what their activities are, which I think is just a good trend in general for especially the MMO space. And even though they're not going to integrate it right now, just because of the lack of smoothness and necessarily the current value proposition and who's actually interested in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a good thing to see that they're thinking less controlling and more like, how do we actually bring value? Because I think that's kind of lost, right? I mean, I'm happier to see Ubisoft looking at NFTs, something that the gamer themselves owns,
Mm-hmm.
versus loot boxes to get things that they couldn't even sell to somebody else if they wanted to.
Yep.
But,
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm
that's
hoping
where I'm
that
at.
this isn't like the last straw before there's a collapse in the industry, because I mean it's been up and up for so long now. There's got to be at some point there's going to be a bubble, and I just hope that this is not the last thing before it.
I mean, I think everything being a service is the problem.
Yeah.
They don't make games launch ready anymore. I think that's the problem. There's too much of a push to just throw it out.
What if this is going to make it even worse now, where it's just like, here's something you buy the game, and then it's like, well, the community will make the rest of it.
I mean, it's different.
But you can make
it's,
money on it as you're finishing our game.
I mean, there's going to be games that try to do things like that, but are people really going to buy into it? It's
Probably.
Different than like letting you make like. I mean, it's different to like try to get you to do what mods are,
mm-hmm.
because you're not gonna like an NFT is not gonna be a full mod, right? It's gonna be like skins. It's gonna be creative aspects that like are layered onto the fundamental gameplay. I just see it as where gameplay is going to be more of a you're going to have more of a focus on the fundamentals when judging a game versus the appearance, potentially.
Okay.
And then
what if it ends up being where you can buy, instead of just a skin for your character, say it's an open world game, and you can buy a unique landscape? I want cherry trees in my game, and so you buy cherry trees that look cool, and you can like replace all the trees with cherry trees.
If someone wanted to do it and pay money for it, then sure. I mean, what's the problem?
I guess it's just like, I don't know. There's a problem. It's just, I can see it expanding past just skins into actual modding, like you're buying an actual mod.
Right. I mean, there are some games like that, right? There's like, what's it called? The Sandbox, I think, is basically trying to be like Minecraft NFT space, metaverse.
Oh, well, I don't know about this, and I'm not sure I'm going to look it up.
I would recommend not bothering, because there's this weird concept in these metaverse games that a digital land is scarce, and it makes no sense to me. Mm-hmm. Digital land is not scarce. I mean, I guess theoretically you can force it to be scarce, but that's manufactured scarcity.
Well, good. I'm glad the millennials are going to buy this digital like land. I'm going to go out and buy some actual land. And when we have water wars.
Gen Z will be busy trying to live in the metaverse, and as a millennial, you'll eventually be able to buy all of the boomers' excess land that is no longer controlled. And then when Gen Z comes out of their hibernation,
they open the windows for the first time, like, oh, what is that thing in the sky? It's burning me.
And then yes, and you'll have all the land that has the electricity generation for their metaverse. It's like, I am your world ender, pay me money or your world is over.
Yes.
They call me Ragnarok. Okay.
Yes.
That is who I am to you.
And I just have a switch in the wall that's labeled God. All right, on that, I'm sure we pissed off some of our audience. So on that, let's go ahead and wrap this up. For the CHRILLCAST, I'm Will.
And I'm Andrew.
And we'll see you in the next one, guys. Thanks for tuning in.